Hi, this is Krista at the Secret Yarnery. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this artificial grass table runner. It is an easy one-row repeat. We just work into our spaces all the way along, so you don't have to be looking for your stitches with this textured yarn. And it looks great on both sides. So it doesn't matter which side you are looking at, both are fabulous. There are both right and left-handed versions of this tutorial. Just click that show more and it'll give you all the information in the description box down below. If you want to follow along with a written pattern, it is available over on my website, secretyarnery.com. For this pattern, I will be using 4 skeins or 1 pack of Eyelash Dazzle from Ice Yarns, and I'll also be using a 6mm crochet hook. You will also need a darning needle for sewing in your ends later and a pair of scissors. So let's get started. To start your artificial grass table runner or centerpiece, you will be making a chain, any multiple of 3. If you are using a different yarn, you will want to make a chain that is as wide as you want your table runner to be, which is approximately 12 inches for an average table runner. So for this yarn and this hook, I will be making 30 chains plus 3, so a total of 33. So make a slip knot any which way you normally do, shrink that down and put it onto your hook. And chain 30 plus 3, so chain 33. 2, 3. For this tutorial, I'm just going to be doing a narrower one, just so I can show you the technique involved. So once you have done your 30 plus 3, so you've chained 33, we're going to start in the 4th chain from our hook. And you can't really see your chains that well. So what you want to do, you want to look at the bottom edge. You'll see this little loop, that strand of yarn. So there's 1, 2, here's 3. We're going to go into number 4 right there. Another way of doing it is just to feel. You'll feel your 3 strands of yarn and then you'll feel like a little knot. So you want to count down past 3 knots. So there's 1 knot here, 2, 3, and that will also be our 4th chain. So wrap your yarn and into the 4th chain from your hook. Make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just feeling with my thumb and finger that I'm putting it into the same stitch. No chaining, we're just going to jump over 2 stitches. So we're going to skip 2 chains so I can feel where I made those stitches. So I can kind of poke my finger into that same spot. So now you just want to feel those knots. Here's that first knot right here. So I'm going to go past that, and there's a 2nd knot, so that's 1 stitch. And past the next one, that's 2 stitches. So now into the 3rd, 3 double crochets. And I know you can't really see your stitches. We're really just feeling along with our finger and thumb. After this, it'll get a lot easier. And at the end of the video, I'll also be showing you with regular worsted weight yarn how it looks if you're not using eyelash. So there's 1 stitch here. There's a knot and a knot, so in between that's 1 chain. And there's a next chain. So I'm just feeling with my fingers. I'm not really looking. Wrap your yarn into the 3rd chain, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So again, I can feel that knot right here. So there's 1 chain, 2 chains. There's my 3rd. So wrap your yarn and into that 3rd chain. So into that 3rd chain, 3 double crochets. There is my 3rd. So that is the end of my row. We ended with our 3 double crochets. So now this is the repeat. To start your new row, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work. We're going to skip over these 3 double crochets we made, and now we can use our finger and thumb to go ahead and just feel the next space. So we can feel those stitches. There's 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. So right after into that space, I hold it open with my thumb. I really just poke my thumb through it and hold it with my finger. So my finger and my thumb are holding that space open. Wrap your yarn and 3 double crochets into that space. So the hard part's over now. I know we can't see our stitches, but now we're working into big spaces that we can feel and can't see. So that works out perfect for making artificial grass. So there's my 1 space. Go past your next 3 stitches and into the space. Hold it open with your finger and thumb. And 3 double crochets into the next space. 1, 2, and 3. Go past the next 3 double crochets into the next space. Hold it open with your finger and thumb, and 3 double crochets. So you're going to make 3 double crochets into every space working along your row. No chaining. We only chain at the end of the row, nothing in between our double crochets. So now pause the video and keep going until you've made 3 double crochets into each space, working all the way along your row. At the end of your row, we have our 3 double crochets right there, 1, 2, and 3, and also a chain space right at the very end. So hold open that chain space, and into the chain space, 3 double crochets. So we always end with 3 double crochets into that chain space. There's 2, and here is our last 3 double crochets. So the repeat again, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn your work, skip over those first 3 double crochets and into the next space, 3 double crochets into the space, 1, 2, and 3, and 3 double crochets into each space, going all the way along until we reach the end of the row. So 3 double crochets into each space, and I'm just using my thumb to feel each space, and I'm holding it open with my finger and thumb. So you're just going to work your way all along, just kind of wiggling your work till you find that space, and then poking your thumb into it. You can just hold it open with your finger and thumb, and 3 double crochets into that space. So keep going all the way along, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. At the end of the row, you'll have a 1 chain space left. It's kind of like a loop at the end of your row. You'll always have that. So into that space, hold it open like we always do, and 3 double crochets into that space. So we always end with 3 double crochets, and we always start with a chain 3 and a skip over. So now keep going until your table runner or centerpiece is the height you'd like it to be. When your table runner is the length you want it to be, mine is about 52 inches long. Looks great on my table, so that's how I know I'm finished making it longer. Now I just want to put an edge around it so it doesn't stretch out, just to keep a nice rectangular shape to it. So at the end of a row, chain 1 and turn your work. Now wiggle your finger. We want to find that very first stitch right underneath our chain 1 and make 1 single crochet. So that's going to anchor our corner. And you can go ahead, grab a stitch marker and just pop a stitch marker into that stitch you just made before we lose it forever. That's just going to mark where we can slip stitch to join when we have gone all the way around our table runner. And chain 2, 1, 2. Now find the next space, make 1 single crochet and chain 2. Find the next space and 1 single crochet and chain 2. So single crochet into the space chain 2, skip over the stitches, single crochet into the next space. So keep going like this all the way along the end of your table runner, and I'll meet you at the first corner. So I've done my single crochet into the last space before the corner, and I've done a chain 2. So into the corner, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into the same corner space. So there is our new little corner there. Rotate your work, chain 2, 1 and 2. So here's our corner space, and there is our set of next stitches. We're going to jump over all of that and make a single crochet into the second space. So not the corner, the space right after. And that feels a bit tight, but we want to keep this corner from fanning out and turning into a weird shape on our table. We want it to stay nice and square. So now chain 2, 1, 2. Find the next space and make 1 single crochet. Chain 2. Next space, 1 single crochet. Chain 2, next space, 1 single crochet. So keep going, making a chain 2 and a single crochet into the next space all along the side of your table runner, and I'll meet you at the corner. At the next corner, we're going to do the same thing. I've done my single crochet and chain 2 into the space before. So into the corner space, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet. Rotate your work, chain 2, 1, 2. So now work along this end, 1 single crochet into each space, and a chain 2 to get to the next space, all the way along this side. So pause the video and I'll meet you when we get to the corner. Don't worry if your corner kind of flips over like that. It will totally straighten out when we're using it. Into the last space before the corner, I've done my single crochet. So chain 2 and into that corner space, 1 single crochet, chain 2, and 1 single crochet. Rotate your work. And now we'll work along this side doing the exact same thing. So skip the corner space, we've already worked into it. Chain 2, working into the next space right here. Put your hook in and 1 single crochet. Chain 2, so now keep working away along this side, making 1 single crochet into the space and chaining 2 to get to the next space, and I'll meet you at the stitch marker. When you get back to your stitch marker, now into the top of that chain or into that chain space, we're just kind of making a corner over there. 1 single crochet, chain 2, rotate your work a smudge, and now right into that stitch marker, I'm not even going to take it out. I'm just going to put my hook straight into where that stitch marker is and slip stitch. Chain 1 to secure my yarn. Now I can take that stitch marker out, cut your yarn, leaving a long enough tail to sew in with a needle. Pull your hook up and your yarn through and snug that down to secure. Sew in your tails and you're finished. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'd love to see yours. You can tag me over on Instagram at Secret Yarnery or join our Facebook group, the Secret Yarnery Crochet Community. Both are great places to upload your photos and show me how yours turned out. I'd love to see it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell beside that so you don't miss out on any awesome tutorials just like this. Thanks for hooking along. We'll see you in the next video and stay hooked.